Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and to today's video where I'm going to be sharing with you my personal 5 tips that you need to know when growing out your hair. But before we do get into the 5 tips guys, I want you to do 2 things for me. I want you to go down below and smash that thumbs up button because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd also really appreciate it if you follow me on Instagram as well. It's linked in the description. The handle's on one of your corners of your screen as well. It's @I'mNathGriff. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and follow me on there, and yeah, if you've got any questions or anything like that, find me a DM. Okay, so tip number 1 is a healthy, high protein diet. So basically, your hair follicles are made up of mainly protein and in particular keratin. So a lack of protein in your diet can actually have a negative effect on your hair follicles and can actually cause hair loss. But I would personally recommend you try and get about 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. And now moving on to tip number 2, and that is to avoid daily shampooing. Okay, so the reason that you want to avoid shampooing your hair every single day is because that will actually strip your hair of all natural essential oils and therefore can actually dry out your hair and cause split ends. So I would recommend shampooing your hair every maybe 3 to 5 days, but if you are the type of person that has like really greasy and oily hair, then definitely make use of dry shampoo. Alright, I'm moving on to tip number 3, and this is to brush your hair every day. As weird as it sounds, brush your hair every day. Now this probably sounds a little bit weird, but I know a lot of people don't do it, but you should definitely be brushing your hair through completely every single day, if not twice. Once in the morning and once of an evening. So brushing daily actually helps distribute your natural oils throughout your hair, and what this does is it actually prevents your hair from getting dry and damaged, which can therefore like slow down the growth and cause split ends. So yeah, tip number 3 is definitely brush your hair every single day, if not twice a day. So in the morning and in the evening before you go to bed. And then moving on to tip number 4, and that is to get frequent haircuts. I know a lot of people don't really like this and maybe think it doesn't make much sense because obviously you're trying to grow your hair out, not cut it and make it shorter. But you should be getting small, frequent cuts. But I would emphasize to your barber that you are trying to grow your hair out, so you only want the split ends snipped off. So the reason for this is because obviously with split ends, they start at the very bottom, you know, they might only be small at the very end of your hair. But if you're not getting them snipped off, then they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're going to go higher up your hair. And what's going to happen then is your hair is going to look really dry, really damaged, and it's actually going to break off. So if you end up having split ends that are like this long, they're going to end up breaking off. But if you do have like small but frequent cuts, maybe once every 8 weeks and something like that, just to get the little ends snipped off, then 1, you're not going to notice it, and they're not going to get bigger and bigger and bigger throughout the months. So tip number 4 is to get short but frequent haircuts. And then moving on to the final tip, tip number 5 is to stay away as much as you can from heat tools. I know this is an obvious one, but it is so true. The overuse of heat tools can cause your hair to become dry, which can then cause your hair to have even more split ends. And then as we mentioned before, them split ends are going to end up breaking off. And if you think about it, if that happens, your hair is going to actually become even shorter than what it was. So I would definitely recommend staying away from heat tools as much as you can. But when you are using them, I would absolutely be using like a heat protectant spray or an oil like an argan oil or something like that. And there we have it guys, those are my 5 different tips that you need to be following or doing if you're trying to grow your hair out. Obviously, as you can see, I've been there before, I've done it, I'm like 4 years into growing my hair now. So if you do have any questions or anything like that, as I mentioned before, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM, and yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And that is it for today's video guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please give it a big thumbs up, hit subscribe if you're new. I make videos every Thursday and every Sunday, mainly around fashion, but the odd hair video as well, like today. So if that is the kind of content that you want to see guys, then make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you on Thursday. Peace.